Well, Steve, first of all, congratulations on Parenthood. Great picture, I think. I
Thank you.
identified very strongly with it. I'm a parent, and many times through the picture I said, they're doing my life.
I'll bet.
You play a guy that really wants to be a good dad. Why don't you tell me a little bit about the character?
Well, that's exactly right. He wants to be a good dad. He thinks he knows the way to do it, which is if you raise them right, they will turn out a certain way. And that it comes to a test. Things they aren't turning out the way his input should dictate. And he looks around him and sees other people, other characters in the cast like Rick Moranis and Diane Weiss. They're raising their kids a different way, and he's wondering if he's got the wrong philosophy. And then he thinks he's not doing a good job at it because the kids do have problems. And when his wife Mary Steenburgen gets pregnant, offering a fourth child, he really goes through a crisis wondering if he wants it, if he's going to screw it up. And then that's what the rest of the movie is about, is that issue.
I understand you're not a father yet, is that
No.
correct? And so you're one of the few people involved with this movie that that you're not involved with parenthood yourself in your private life, and yet you look very natural with it.
Yeah, it fit me very well. I liked the kids I was working with. We had a good time. They were fun to be around, and we communicated very well on sort of a comedic level. So, and there was hundreds of people around who were parents that you can observe and watch, for the details.
I like what you're doing with your career. This is a long way from The Jerk and Dead Men Don't Wear Plaid. You seem to be moving toward roles that at least allow some dramatic moments.
Right. Well, I think it's important. You can really, if you've got a fine dramatic moment to land on, it makes the comedy even more powerful. If you get them laughing and suddenly they're crying, that's what theater is about.
It seems to me that comedy works best in a serious context, and vice versa. You can get a serious message across more effectively with humor.
Yes, you can. I also believe, however, in just plain out farce, like Fish Called Wanda or Dirty Rotten Scoundrels. I just love that kind of film where you can just act stupid too, and be paid.
Roxanne was a good mix as well of some drama and some comedy, obviously. A lot of people thought you should have been nominated for an Oscar, and I've been talking to people about the Oscars recently. How do you feel about it? Let me take you back to Oscar night. Were you angry?
It's hard to try and to be angry or upset or even express emotion about somebody else's game. I can't, like I say, I can't be upset for not being honored. Wait a minute, I should be honored here. It's not a decision I make about myself. It's something that other people make.
I saw one of your old videos about a week ago. One where you were wearing the arrow over the head.
The live performance?
Yes.
Yeah.
And it's still funny, but I couldn't help but notice that comedy is different today than it was 10 years ago.
Yeah.
When you watch, or if you ever have an opportunity to see some of your old stuff, how do you feel about it?
I really don't look at it. I just, it's in the past for me. I'm always kind of looking ahead, so I never sort of sit around like, Sunset Boulevard and watch old films and, now this bit, I just, I'm not ready for it yet.
I always think it's interesting to ask actors how they got started. What kind of a kid were you? Did you like putting on shows in the backyard?
Yeah, I love that. Well, my parents had guests over. I was out there with the magic table and all my props. Fortunately, I didn't have a lot of material to work with, so it was only last about 5 minutes.
So you had the bug to be in show business early?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, very early.
Something,
I don't know, it's an odd thing. It's like you're born with it.
You started writing for musical comedy entertainment series on TV.
Right.
Why are there no series like that on TV right now?
I don't know. I can't figure it out. I mean, the variety show format was, it's really up to performers, but then there's been a lot of talented performers who've tried it and sort of not caught on with it. I think it needs a forum because you can have different artists and performers on. And there's not really that. With sitcoms, you don't get like Johnny Cash appearing on a sitcom, whereas you would if it was a variety show.
We've had an opportunity a couple of times to talk before, and I've just been around you when you're not on, or not interviewing, but you're still a funny guy. Do you think sometimes people expect you to be funny everywhere, and do you sometimes feel pressure because of that?
Sometimes. I don't know what people are thinking, but sometimes it's just impossible to be funny. If you're racing for a plane in an airport and somebody is waving you down and calling out your name, you don't know how to respond. It's something you just have to deal with on an individual basis.
Mm-hmm. Steve, it's a great pleasure to talk to you again, and best of luck with Parenthood.
Nice to talk to you.
Thank you.
Where are you from? I missed the whole thing.
I'm from Calgary, Canada.